Hey guys! Welcome to this week's vlog. We're super excited to be sharing with you tips on things that you need to know before moving to Puerto Rico.
10 months ago, we lived in Hawaii and we decided to move to Puerto Rico for a bit to see what it was like. There's some things that we learned while living here, other than visiting, that are different.
Yes, so these are things that we wish we knew before coming here, and so we hope that this is helpful. If you're planning to visit Puerto Rico as a tourist, we do have another video or vlog for that, and you should check it out. We're gonna put the video right here if you're visiting as a tourist. But if you're planning to move, or if you've already decided to move to Puerto Rico, then this video is for you. So stay tuned, like and subscribe already if you haven't, for some exciting tips. Okay, the first thing that you'll probably be thinking is where you're gonna be living. Puerto Rico has a lot of different cities and towns, and each city and town has definitely different pros and cons. We decided to live on the west side because we're definitely beach people, ocean people. We both love to surf, we both love the vibe in here. But if you like the metro area, that's definitely good for you too. Just make sure to research the pros and cons of different cities and how it will definitely benefit you. So for deciding where to live, there's a lot of different websites online that you can rely on. There's Facebook Marketplace, and there's also clasificados. Clasificadosonline.com is where we found our place, and it's definitely reliable. I'm gonna show you how to find a place to live here in Puerto Rico using Puerto Rico's Craigslist, and it's called clasificadosonline.com. This is where we found our place here in Puerto Rico. It was really reliable. We got to see a lot of places, and I contact a lot of landlords or real estate agents through this. And so what I'm going to show you right now is how to find a place to rent. Of course, there are places to find for sale. You can also find vehicle, cars, pets, articles, jobs. So this is basically like Craigslist, but what I'm going to show you is how you're going to be able to find a place to rent. So this is the website. I know there's a lot of things going on, and it's usually in Spanish, but you can use Google Translate to translate the whole thing into English. And so what you're going to do is you're going to click for rent here, rental and holidays. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna click Largo Plaza. This is for vacation rentals if you're just planning to come here as a tourist, but if you're moving, you're gonna click on Largo Plaza for long-term rental. And then here it's gonna show area or towns, and you're gonna click what towns you want to live in, or what are your options. There's the general option if you're not sure what specific town you're gonna live in. We live in the west side, or you can choose in the central area, and so you can either do that or you can see specific places. So when we moved here, we knew that we are gonna live in the west side, and so I'm gonna choose Aguadilla. This is translated, this is supposed to be Aguada, and then maybe Isabela. Where did Isabela go? Isabela, and then Rincon. So those are the most popular places. A lot of people live here. Sorry, this is translated, so Rincon is gonna be translated as corner. Where did Rincon go? Elemental P corner. That's Rincon in Spanish. Oh, sorry, Rincon in English is corner. And so these are the towns that we're gonna look at. You can choose just one town or as many towns you like. The property, I'm just gonna leave it just property, just to see as much possible options I can see. You can also choose how many bedrooms you want, and then the price, like a minimum and price maximum. And so I'm gonna click list, and there you go. These are the rental places that are available in the areas that I chose. And so I'm gonna click on one. Let's see, for example, I want to see this in front of the spa in Rincon. It's $3,000. A little bit more expensive than our budget, but what's good about clasificados is it shows the phone number that you're gonna call. There's not a lot of picture options. Sometimes they only take one picture and that's it, but I like that it shows the phone number. I know in Craigslist they usually censor this, but yeah, just call this number and there you go. Set up a time and place and make sure that you really look at the place that you're possibly going to be renting. Another thing too that you might consider if you don't want to commit to a place, because a lot of the places here have contracts from 6 months to a year, is Airbnb. We found out, and I wish that this is something that we did when we moved here, is that because instead of like committing for a year in just one place, is that we kind of wish that we just did Airbnbs from month to month or 3 months. We found out they're actually cheaper to rent for some Airbnbs that are like good, so you don't have to worry about bills, internet, electricity and all that. Some of our friends did that where they just paid month to month in different Airbnbs and it worked out well. So if you are up to like moving in different places, definitely consider that option. If not, you can commit to 6 months to a year in an apartment or a home that you can find through clasificados or Facebook Marketplace.
We live, there's no Uber or no Lyft, and so public transportation can be pretty difficult if you don't have a car. If you live in like San Juan area, like the metro area, there's plenty of options. There's even a train and local buses. But out here, it's pretty much you have to have a car.
Yeah, car is really needed.
Pretty good feet to walk. So you may think, how am I going to get around? You may think to ship your car here. That's one possibility, but there's a very high tax on cars that are shipped into Puerto Rico. You can also go on clasificados, Facebook Marketplace, and you can look for cars just like you do in Hawaii or any other state. Also, when you buy your car, you're gonna have to go with whoever you buy your car to a lawyer or someone to sign a notary to kind of prove that you're buying the car from a certain person. Also, then you have to go submit your paperwork and get all that done. So for some people, it may be kind of a different experience. But overall, it's not as bad as it seems. It's just a little bit more lengthy and the process takes a little bit. There's a lot more steps that goes into it.
Yeah, so we can make totally separate videos on specific instructions in getting a car because it's really different compared to getting it in the mainland USA. And so if you want more specific instructions on that, step by step, comment below and we'll plan that for another video. Number 3 is you're probably wondering what is the cost of living here in Puerto Rico. When you think of Puerto Rico, you're probably comparing it to other places in the Caribbean or in Latin America or South America, but Puerto Rico is actually not as cheap as you think. And James is gonna talk more about that.
Yeah, so like Puerto Rico is an island, so there's a lot of things that are kind of shipped in. There's not as many local goods produced here as you may think. And so with that comes some taxes, some import duties, and other things. There's something called the Jones Act, which has to have only American-made ships ship goods into Puerto Rico, and so that also entails more cost, and it shows up within the tax when you buy goods.
That basically means that the goods are shipped first in the States before coming here.
So there's a high sales tax. So the price is about 23% higher than the mainland for your local groceries. Coming from Hawaii, it's not much of a change.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty high over there. But like if you're coming from somewhere like Texas or something, be prepared to pay a lot more for some milk if you like to drink milk.
4th one is healthcare coverage here. Healthcare or insurance here is definitely so much cheaper compared to the mainland USA.
Necessities and doctor's visits, even if you don't have insurance, are not expensive at all. But which is good. But at the same time, what we've experienced personally, I'm not sure it's for everything, but just what we've seen is that it's been really hard to get appointments and wait times are extremely long. One time we went to the hospital for something and it literally took, we went there at 2 o'clock and we got out at 2 in the morning. So it took a very long time waiting and kind of figuring out everything. So If you have any kind of like health concerns or issues or whatever, talk with your doctor or try to do some more research on your own specifically for your needs, and see if it's something that you can deal with here when you come. But not saying every doctor is the same, it's just what we've experienced here.
Okay, fifth one is food. There's a lot of good food here in Puerto Rico that you definitely have got to try, like mofongo, platano?
Tostones.
There you go, he's gonna help me with this.
Habichuelas.
There's a lot of great food, like even pina coladas are founded here in Puerto Rico. With that said, I'm Asian and I love Asian food. The only thing is there's not a lot of diversity here of food here in Puerto Rico. Maybe San Juan metro area, you can find a lot of Asian food. I got to shop there one time for a lot of Asian food, but here on the west side there's not really a lot of option. And so if you love international food, herbs, spices, I suggest that you bring a lot when you come here. Whenever we travel to the mainland or come back to Hawaii, I would bring back luggages of Asian food, spices, international food to bring here, especially here on the west side. There's Walmart, Sam's Club, and a lot of like familiar places that you can buy food while you're here.
So number 6 is you gotta learn at least some Spanish. I mean, there are people that don't actually speak Spanish at all, get away with it, but just as a recommendation, I think it will help you in a lot of ways that you wouldn't think of. At least making an effort or trying your best to show that you're, trying to speak it helps a lot with communication, and it opens up people a little bit more. There's definitely some programs you can do. There's a lot of ways you can
Duolingo, Hello Talk. Yeah, so he speaks fluent, I don't, but I noticed that just learning a couple of phrases definitely goes a long way. Don't expect everyone here to speak to you in English, but definitely do your best to learn a couple of phrases. Learning a language is really hard. And so, but just like learning a few of the phrases in Spanish can get a long way. Don't expect the people to adjust here. We're the visitors, so we're the ones that need to adjust to Puerto Rico. Last but not the least, I think this is the most important tip that we can give you, is to come to Puerto Rico with an open mind. Even if you think that it's part of the United States, it's really different here. And so if you're not prepared for that, maybe prepare yourself first in understanding Puerto Rican culture and all that, because Puerto Rico is not for everyone.
And a lot of people say it's a lot more slower here and they have a difficult time adjusting, but I guess it's just part of the growing process. Wherever you move around the world, you're gonna have to experience something to kind of understand it more.
But yeah, Puerto Rico has so many beautiful things it has to offer. Enjoy it. There's so many beautiful beaches, beautiful mountains, beautiful people, culture, food. Explore all of that. But also don't forget to respect the people and the land wherever you're at. And that applies to here in Puerto Rico.
Guys, so that was our vlog. We're thankful that you had the time to actually watch it and listen in and hear some words about Puerto Rico. We plan to do more activities soon, so stay tuned. And if you have any other questions, write them down in the comments and we'll try to answer them in some videos.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.